Alright, I just wanted to do a quick review of this 2004 Silverado 2500 HD with the LLY Duramax. I've officially owned this truck for 1 year, so I just wanted to talk about what's great, what's not so great, and yeah. So I'll just do an initial walk around real quick here. One thing you'll notice right off the bat is that I put these LLY stickers on the side of the bed walls. Previous owner had the 4x4 stickers way up top, but decided to put those on instead. We're at a park here, so we got some traffic, but stock exhaust. We got emissions here, so can't quite straight pipe it, but I'll shut this thing off so you can hear me better. Here's the interior. It is the LT, so we've got the full leather interior, power windows, everything. I love it. You can see the mileage right there is 78,000. Shut this thing off. So we'll start on the outside here. So the color is dark gray metallic. First year was offered in 2004. Let me get this to focus. Here we go. And then they quit making this color in 2005. So alright, so the last owner just used this to tow a fifth wheel to Arizona and back twice a year. So they even took the tailgate off and just kept it up in a barn. So when I bought it, the tailgate was brand new, and as you can see, those scratches are just for me. They just had one of those gates on the back. I did add that toolbox. There's the rails for the fifth wheel. Like I said, this truck is fully optioned. The only two options it does not have are the sunroof and rear sliding window. And it is not a crew cab, it's an extended cab truck, but it's the long box, which means you do get the 34-gallon fuel tank, as opposed to the 26-gallon for standard size boxes. I did paint the steps black. They used to be chrome. You can see a little bit showing there, but I eventually want to get amp research power steps, but they're like $1,000, so who knows when that'll happen. The tires are like brand new on them. So these were new in 2016, only 5,000 miles on them. I did do a little work to the frame, clean it up a little bit there. You can see on the front and on the back, all cleaned up. Go around to the front here. So at the front you can see lights on. These are just the clear stock factory ones. I put LED bulbs in the low beam, high beam, and driving lights. I still need to get them in the fog lights down there. I did do the black bow tie. That is a wrap, so I can peel that off, have the gold one if I wanted. Check out the frame on this side. Camper style mirrors. I think those are the ugliest thing in the world, but they are handy because they telescope via power, which is nice. I want to get the upright towing mirror soon, but that's another $500 expense, so I'm waiting to do that. Now in the back here, I did do an add-a-leaf. You can see there's the 4 plus the one underneath the 4, and then the overload. So this is a 5+1 system, or it used to be a 4+1. See underneath, I did repaint that axle. That add-a-leaf did raise the back up a couple inches. I also bought some torsion key levelers for the front. The back still sits a little higher right now, but that's fine because we do tow an 8,000 pound travel trailer with this. So that's pretty much it on the outside. I have waxed and polished it. Let's go look under the hood here. Okay, so you can see I no longer have my turbo resonator, the thing that says LLY, or not LLY, it says 6.6 turbo diesel. That's gone, and in place I put the new turbo mouthpiece. You can see right there, S&B. These trucks were known for having restrictive turbo mouthpieces, which can cause the engine to overheat, and that's a $200 piece of metal there, which is ridiculous, but I have noticed that has woken this truck right up. It's cooler, drives better, it idles better, and when you're driving and cruising and you tap the gas, it doesn't shift real hard like it used to. I don't know how that all affects that, but yeah. I also did the Pcv Reroute, which you can see by this copper fitting right there. That goes right down, and then it dumps right underneath up there. I just zip tied it, but that is short for positive crankcase ventilation. So what that means is when your engine's running, a little bit of pressure escapes through to your crankcase, and that pressure needs to be released somehow. So from the factory, they put it right back into your turbo, but that gums it all up. It's nasty and it's oily, not good for longevity on these trucks. So many people will just take them out and dump them on the side. Holy cow, got some loud construction over here. Anyway, sorry about that. So that's basically what blow-by is. All cars have it, it's just that's on a smaller scale. When you have blow-by that will blow that cap off when it's sitting upside down, that's not good. I'll show you here in a minute, but this truck doesn't have any of that. I cleaned it all up. That's pretty much it under here. Batteries are still pretty new, work great. One thing I did have to do was replace this serpentine belt. The old one started squeaking like a week after I bought this truck. So I just replaced that, and that was like $9 on Amazon. Totally worth it. Quite the process to get that in there, but once you get it, it's good. I did do the 6 high mod, and I made it a custom 8 high mod. And what that means is when you turn on your high beams, your low beams and fog lights will stay on. And I made it such that when I turn on my high beams, the low beam, driving lights, high beams, fog lights, and running lights will all be running at once. So I can also show you that in a second here. Moving on to the inside, all I've done in here was add LEDs up top there and a new switch here. Because what would happen is I would be driving and all of a sudden at night all my lights would go out, totally black. Driving lights would still be on, thankfully, but dash lights. So I looked it up, did a little research, and I found out that online that if you push this knob in, it will bring them back. And that always worked temporarily, but they just totally stopped working. So I got this new switch on Amazon for $35, totally worth it. Super easy to put in. You just pop this out, and there's just clips, not even screws. You just pop it out, put the new harness in, pop it all back in. But I haven't done much to the interior. This is the factory leather, power seats and everything. Got a little wear there, but not bad. Factory floor mats. Carpet is great. Like I said, the previous owner did tow a 5th wheel, so it does come with their aftermarket Prodigy P2 tow haul. Brake controller. Here's the back seat. I did get this. They're called a Duha. It's under seat rear storage, so it turns that whole wasted space under there into a place where you can organize stuff. I like these older trucks. They have door pockets in the rear, unlike the 07 through 13s. These ones actually have it, even in the extended cab doors, which is rare. So, one thing I did find out is the rear glass was once broken. Because when I was cleaning this out and putting the dewey in, I noticed there were glass shards behind this seat. So, previous owner never told me that, but I guess it's understandable when you tow a fifth wheel and you got a huge hitch back there, it's easy to happen. So, I believe that's it for the inside. Actually, wait, now I got one more thing on the other side to show you. Here's my tripod. I did add 3 extra 12-volt outlets here on the side. That is because I got my GPS charger, I've got my Bluetooth emitter, I've got my tire pressure monitoring system right there, and eventually I want to get a radar detector, so all these things need to be plugged in. So I added that down there, which is wired straight to the batteries, and yep, so it's got its own switch and everything. So, oh yeah, one other thing is this headliner up here is peeling down. I think that's a pretty common thing in these trucks, but it's worse on the passenger side, so that's one issue. On the driver's side, it's also coming down a little bit. But yeah, it does have the Allison 1000. It's the 5-speed. I would like to get the 6-speed conversion eventually, but more expenses again. Here's the hitch, all nice painted. I did put LEDs in the license plate lights back here. The truck is filthy. I wish I had time to clean it before this video, but it rained hard last night, so what can you do? The awesome thing about these trucks is they do not take DEF fluid, and there's no DPF, or diesel particulate filter. This is a 2004 and a half. They introduced the DPF in 2007.5. Not long after that, in 2010, they required diesel exhaust fluid. This truck doesn't have any of that. It only has an EGR for recirculating the exhaust gases, which I'm planning on deleting eventually. But yeah, recently I heard that the EPA is shutting down diesel tuning and performance parts for deleting emissions. So these trucks before 2007 and a half are gonna probably be increasing in value. So yeah, I got a good deal on this truck. Maybe it'll hold its value a little bit longer. One thing I do want to do is put the LBZ front grille and hood on. I just like that bullnose style hood a lot better than this. But let me fire it up for you, and we can hear this thing run. All the gauges work great here. There's the mileage. 71,816. This is a low mileage truck. Awesome thing is, most of those are highway miles. One other thing is this parking brake. It just goes straight to the floor without doing anything. So I gotta be careful where I park sometimes, because that is basically useless for a truck this size. Oh, let me turn on the lights real quick. Okay. So as you can see, I've got my fog light on, my high beam on at the same time. So let's head out here and see. We've got the low beam, high beam, running light, and fog light all on at once. hard to see that running light, but man, this truck sounds good. All right, let's close that hood. Did come with that bug deflector, which I think looks pretty sweet, despite its brown color. So, you will see videos soon. I'm going to try to get this sucker paint match. But, yeah, that's my 1 year review of this truck. It's been great. We'll give it some revs here to finish the video. Sounds good. All right, we'll see you guys in